And welcome everyone to the FUT 19 Champions Cup pre-show presented by PlayStation 4. I'm Jimmy Conrad, and this is the first of many majors in this new season. Very exciting. The players are going to be competing for this trophy, the top prize of $50,000 and 1,500 very important global series points. Now, before we get into what those are and why they're so valuable, I have to introduce two of the many talented people that will be breaking down all of the action over these next few days, Spencer Owen and Ivan Lapanje, also known as Boras legend. Thank you guys for being here with me. It's exciting.
Pleasure. Buzzing to be back for another season. Fantastic. Different setup to last year. We've got a nice sofa now, nice armchair.
I've always been in this situation. You're the one that was always on stage.
I'm joining you.
Yeah. Okay, and then Ivan, how are you feeling? Looking sharp as always?
Thank you very much. Feels very good to be here. Always, of course, wishing to be playing, but having a chance to still be here and watch this action live here in Bucharest. And we had Paris, which was last month, and it's going to be so interesting to see how the top gameplay has been changing over this past month. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see this tournament.
Yeah, and a lot of points at stake in this one. Spencer, tell us a little bit about this point structure and why it's different from years past.
Yeah, that's the big change. I think most people are welcoming it as a really good addition. Essentially what it means is, and we've compared it to other sports such as tennis, we've seen things like this before, it means that you're going to get points throughout the season. The big points are up for grabs at tournaments like this, but you even get points for playing weekend league at home on the weekend as well. And at the end of the season, we culminate with obviously the playoffs and then the FEWC, the grand final. Those points are going to be what qualifies you for those events. And you need to be in the last 16 at the playoffs to get through to the grand final. But before we get to all that, it's about collecting them as much as possible. There's 1,500 points up for grabs for the winner on each console. And we'll talk more about the actual breakdown of them later. But what this essentially means is you're rewarded for consistency over the year. It's not about having one good tournament and then getting through to the final. You have to be good and strong throughout. You can see here the path, loads of different ways to get points. The Champions Cups, of which we are here now. We've got the FIFA Majors, we've got the LQEs, the official league partners, so many events now. Really no excuses in terms of not having enough events. PlayStation 4, country tournaments, and as I said, the weekend league, and it all just comes through, and if you perform over the year, you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, now, Boras, I want to get your opinion on this since you're competing actively. How do you feel about the point structure?
I think for us players this is perfect. First of all, of course, having more tournaments, which means you have more time to perform, more time to practice, more time to show yourself, and especially the fact that consistency pays off. Previously, we could see people having a good start of the year and then kind of hibernated or were idle for a month just waiting for the playoff, because it all came down to the playoff. But now you can gain points over the whole year, and consistency really will pay off. And I think this is it will make more justice, and it will make more sure that we will get the top 16 players per console going to the grand final.
Also as well, like what he just said is a really good point. We've seen it 2 years in a row. The first major winner 2 years ago was TAS, last year was Tex. You almost peak too early. You have a great start, become the kind of the man with the target on your back, and you kind of, I'm not saying they did this, but do you kind of sleep on it a little bit and think, oh, I'm good, I've qualified for that event later on. You don't work on your game as much as you need to. Now you can't afford to do that. You need the points.
Yeah. Now, what's the general consensus, Ivan, from the players, let's say, about this point system?
From the players, we absolutely love it. Having this new system which will reward consistency, and especially to me looking at, okay, which 16 players are going to go through to that is the main target for every FIFA player to reach the grand final. This will be, I say, 100% a more accurate system to really make sure that we get the best 16 players per console.
Okay, and then just the ecosystem in general. Are you happy, Spencer, with all these new majors? Do you think that's better that we spread it out as opposed to just having these big magnified 2 majors that led to the Global Series playoffs?
No, I think it's fantastic personally. I think there's so many events. You know, you got to look at it. Of course we want to qualify and we want to see the best players get to the grand final, but it's not just about that. It's also about building careers for these players. Like, these guys have got so many opportunities now to make significant money from prize winnings. So, like I say, you don't have to qualify for every event. It's great if you do, but if you can go and have a big performance at some events, not only are you going to take home some prize money, you're going to get those all-important points, And yeah, you're going to be able to make a living, which we've seen so many people do now. Record numbers of people are earning a proper salary from playing FIFA, and that's getting better every year.
No, it's very exciting, and obviously a hat tip to EA for creating this platform and these events to make that happen. Now, you mentioned Ivan or Boras. I'm going to call you both over the course of this because
It's fine.
you're super handsome. I've lost myself in your eyes at this point. Jackson won the event in Paris that you mentioned. How much pressure is on him to try to replicate that this time around?
Well, he's definitely the man to beat now, and I was there in Paris watching him live, and you can see also that he has a big advantage now on the leaderboard. But there's still so much to play for this season. It's going to be very, very long. And something that I would say that the level this year is incredibly high. And you need not only to have the skill, you need to have the dedication and the hunger to win every tournament. And the question is maybe he already had his meal now. Maybe he is still a bit full and he needs time to digest this victory. So maybe he won't have the same desire to win here because he has a nice position on the leaderboard. But when it comes to quality, he can definitely do it once again.
I enjoyed all the food metaphors.
I did.
There.
It makes me hungry,
good.
actually.
And the reason we're only showing 4 guys on that leaderboard as well is that there's loads of people underneath that with points from the weekend league, but there's a lot of people on the same amount of points. So we're showing the most, not important, but the guys that are leading it at the moment. But 875 points.
Yeah, he's cruising right
big.
now. He's
but
cruising.
There's 1,500 up for grabs here.
That's true. Well, speaking of Jackson, he's with our main man, Kyle Walker. No, not that Kyle Walker, another one. Take it away, Kyle.